everyone, I'm back with a new TV favorites video where I talk about some of the TV shows that I've been enjoying lately. And the last video I did, I think, was for August, September, maybe. And so now we'll talk about everything else that has happened since then. So October, November, December. Let's do it. First up is called The Midwife Season 7. I think this show always makes it on my favorites list because I love it and because I think it's one of the rare shows that is consistently good every single season. In case you don't know, it takes place in the late 1950s, early 1960s, and it takes place in a district of London where we follow midwives and nuns of the Nonatus House, a nursing convent. It's definitely one of those feel-good shows that I just never get enough of. 3 Below Tales of Arcadia. In one of my previous favorite videos, I had talked about Troll Hunters, A Tale of Arcadia, which is the first chapter in a trilogy of series entitled Tales of Arcadia. So 3 Below is the second one, and it takes place in the same town as Troll Hunters. And in this one, we follow two extraterrestrial, I can't talk, extraterrestrial? I can't pronounce it apparently. Two extraterrestrial siblings, as well as their bodyguard, who have escaped their home planet after a coup. Now, a second season hasn't been announced yet, but I hope we do get a second season because I kind of want to know what happens next, or I want some sort of conclusion for this series. And there's also apparently going to be a third series in the trilogy, which is called Wizards. So it would be nice to get, you know, all 3 of them fully told. One of the things that I also really enjoyed about 3 Below is that they connect some of the storylines from Troll Hunters into this story because they're kind of happening at the same time, and so there's a lot of weave in and out, and it gives like a new sort of dimension to Troll Hunter, I feel. Or it's also exciting because I'm like, oh, I miss Troll Hunters. I'm so excited we get to see them a little bit more. The Dragon Prince. This is another Netflix animated show, and this one takes place in a fantasy world where humans and elves are in conflict, and we follow 2 young princes and an elf who team up after discovering something that could change their relations between human and elves. Now, this one felt way too short. There was only 9 episodes in the first season, and I was like, why? Okay, just as it's getting good, it just ends. But the good news is the second season will be airing in February, so it's almost here. The Crown Season 2. Now, it took me forever to finally finish this season, but I really did enjoy it. And in case you don't know, The Crown is a biographical story about the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. In season 3, the cast will be changed to go with the characters actually aging. So Olivia Colman will be replacing Claire Foy as the Queen, and Tobias Menzies from Outlander, if there are any Outlander fans, will be replacing Matt Smith as Prince Philip. Castle Rock. This is an anthology series based on characters and settings from the stories of Stephen King. Now, I didn't realize this was an anthology series until I was doing some research for this video because a second season had been announced for this show, so I assumed it would be like continuation of the story from the first season, but no, it's gonna be something completely different. That said, I still really enjoyed season 1. It's weird, it's twisted, but whew, it was good. It's good. And, you know, in case you're not a big fan of horror, I wouldn't really call this, maybe it's more like psychological horror in some way, because I'm not like a big fan of horror at all. Like, I won't even watch trailers of horror films, but I really enjoyed that. So it's more of like a psychological thriller, I would say. Is it psychological? It's like supernatural kind of stuff. Anyway, it's worth watching. Watch the first episode, maybe see if you get into it. It's kind of has the same vibe throughout the whole season. The Good Place Season 3. This is definitely one of my favorites comedy series, and I think it pretty much ends up on my list every season. And then season 3 is just continues to be original, fun, just a great show to watch if you want to just be happy. The Kominsky Method. Now, this one was actually recommended to me by my dad. I watched it like in a day because I enjoyed it so much. Now, granted, there are not that many episodes and they're also half-hour episodes. It was pretty quick to watch, but still, it was really good. The story pretty much just follows the life of Sandy Kominsky, a Hollywood acting coach played by Michael Douglas. I think they could have fallen into like the stereotype of an acting coach and, you know, making fun of all of that. I think they did a really good job of actually fleshing out the character and having some real moments and having some really deep and honest and genuine stories. Does that make sense? Watch the first episode, give it a shot. You might be surprised. El Ministerio del Tiempo, the Ministry of Time. I've had this show on my list quite a few times in my favorite videos, I think, because I watch it really slow, but I really enjoy it still. I just finished season 2 and I'm currently watching season 3. And I think the more I watch it, the more I love it. And I almost don't want to watch season 3 too quickly because I don't want it to end, because then what do I watch? Now, in case you don't know, the show follows a ministry who is in charge of keeping time and history intact by watching over doors that actually lead to different times in history. So if you like time travel kind of shows, this is definitely for you. Give it a shot. Dogs. Now, this is a docu-series focusing on their relationship between people and their dogs. So we get 6 different stories. I'm a big dog lover and I enjoyed every moment of this documentary. I especially enjoyed episode 2, which follows a Syrian refugee who is trying to get his dog back. He had to leave the dog behind when he left. It was an intense episode, but I think what I really enjoyed is that it showed the bond between a dog and a person, but it also shines a light on the conflict in Syria and the people that it's been affecting. So it was powerful on a lot of levels. Highly recommended. But you know, all the other stories were also really, really good. If you love animals, if you love dogs, watch it. You might need some tissues, but I was worried that it would be like a sad kind of docuseries. It's not sad. It can get very emotional, but it's not sad. So, you know, just so you know, because I was kind of scared at some point that it was going to be very tragic. It's not tragic. It's just a celebration. Outlander season 4. Now, a few of you have definitely asked me if I was going to talk about Outlander, if I was going to review it. Obviously, I'm not doing episodic reviews for this season. It's just, you know, just not going to happen. But I was considering doing a season 4 review once the season ends. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I am actually caught up with the season. Definitely a lot happening this season that I could discuss or have thoughts on. Lots of crazy things going on, and I'm still happy that I haven't read the books because every time I'm like, this is not where I thought this was going. So crazy stuff going on in Outlander. But that's it for my favorites. Of course, I would love to hear what you've been watching, what you've been enjoying. So let me know in the comments and let me know if you want me to review Outlander season 4. And I will see you soon. Bye.